All right, so what we have here on the pound, trying to hold above weekly open, looks like trying to nicely set up to move even higher from here. So what I would like to see here is either retest of 2720 or even yesterday low, something in between 2712, 2705, this something like double bottom or triple bottom top over here from here, right before the breakout higher. Some stops, yeah, it's nice setup, going on. Let's switch a little bit lower. Looks like it's a Riley base, so first stop should be a little bit below this one. Let's have a look if we can get in something around 38 maybe. Somewhere 38 would be good. Or there is a risk they will go, because what's going to be the first target? First target is around yesterday high and stops above, right? So from the risk reward perspective, it's not that great right now, because it's like 1-to-1, right? With this breakout setup, it might be, we may try to count 2-to-1. There is another supply here ahead, yeah, before the break. So in that case, that's this one I liked. So the initial stop is going to be around 14 pips. That makes sense. That's 2-to-1. So we will do it a little bit different way. That's the first one. Sorry. So that's the first one, and it's very, very tiny. It's just breakout attempt to break higher here. So we do have a stop right under what the it's around 14 pips, and we are going to target this supply. Two and a half R, but I'm gonna switch a little bit lower here to 1 minute, and I'm going to look for a possibility to eventually add into that long, because it's a very tiny exposure right now. But just a reminder, if we are going to get back into the higher time frame, right, in my opinion, there is a little bit better demand based on the sell-off we've seen earlier today. So we quite didn't get there. That's what I've been talking about. It's something around 2720. yeah, I would be, I think I'll be more happy to have it there. But yeah, it might be more volatility ahead of the Theresa May within the next 1.5 hours. We'll see. We'll see. So we are targeting right now 2770, maybe 2769. We'll see if we are gonna to get there. That's completely different story. So we know what is going on with the pound. Getting very close to my stop on USD CAD, and as I mentioned, I'm still long. It's visible here. I'm still long. With the stop below 39 euro dollar. But the pressure might be on the euro from euro pound perspective. So we'll see what is going on. Actually, euro should hold here. Here we tested. Actually, we should try. Bulls should try to hold that level on euro dollar. Pound, some kind of the rejection, and I don't like how this candle starts right now. I'm going to go through the news. So there's going to be quiet a bit for a second. Nothing special, looks like, at least for now. It's good that I decided to take the very tiny exposure over here. Lower we go, then I might be a little bit more brave to try to add. But, big but, I would like to have the possibility to eventually try to short it. So that was, let me explain you. The green over here, the green here, that green, which was broken previous week on Friday. We went through that, right? It was supposed to work as demand. Based on as a demand, based on the upper shadow, it worked, right? We created nice swing low, and we went higher. Then last Friday we broke through that one, right? So now as it's broken, and actually there was 2 consecutive days we closed below that level. So yeah, we may try to consider this as first possible supply from the daily, right? But I don't want to take lower shadows, so I'm gonna to move the bottom of that possible supply right now and push it a little bit higher here. But I wouldn't be surprised to see even bigger spike towards the previous swing low over here, right? And taking into the consideration the whole move to the downside, that would be something around 50% of that move, right? So that's, I think, in case of squeeze on the pound, right? Based on whatever, to be honest with you. After such a big move to the downside, there are gonna be always any kind of the reason could be good for the squeeze. Okay. We'll see. Missed that one. Also been trying to short it, that one. Yeah, as I mentioned during the morning meeting, I've been hurt last week a bit, maybe a little bit more than a bit. So carefully from my side right now. Again, watching this crude. There's a nice little action to the downside ahead of the close yesterday to retest the low. So might be that once we get back, because look where we are right now, we are below, we are trying to hold it. Let's see where we are going to be at the top of the hour. But for now, it's a time for a break, first one today, right? So enjoy the break, coffee, tea, water, only non-alcoholic drinks. I'll be back at the top of the hour. Enjoy the break.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Welcome back after the break. Second part of our today's meeting. A little bit of was trying to take the breath. A little bit of, looks like on the smallest time frame we are losing a little bit of the momentum. That's not good. That's not good. Of course, we are talking about the 1 minute charts for now. Yeah, and the biggest within this consolidation. This the black on the falling candle over here. We'll see. That's why it's a very tiny exposure here, as you know. In case I'm going to be stopped out, I'm ready to reopen with a little bit bigger exposure down in between 27.20, 27.10, right? A little bit weaker on the euro side. It was an attempt to move through the weekly open blue dotted line over here. But this upper shadow, it's something I don't like here. Unfortunately, I'm not ready to move my stop higher because the entry, right? The entry is based on this move above yesterday high. It's a little bit, to move above yesterday low, and it's a little bit. I would be able to move the stop few pips higher, right? To have it as a 6 pips, maybe 7 pips. Currently, I do have something like 11. Sorry, 13. I'm sorry. So probably I'm going to leave it somewhere below 39, at least for now. And that's what I don't like here on the pound. And within the next 30 minutes, the US cash market is going to be open. There was a spike on banking shares as well, but we are going to monitor pre-open indices within the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I have to monitor this pound for now. Watching this dollar yen Testing the supply, we discuss it. During our break, I cut ahead of the stop. I cut the dollar Canadian long. Not sure what's going to happen after the Theresa May speech, right? But for example, right now, JP Morgan rises no deal probability to 25 from 15%. Looks like JP Morgan didn't accumulate enough longs. So they are looking for sellers. Okay. Hopefully that's one. What we did right now is just this 1-to-1. Hopefully, so we hit few stops. So maybe it's time to try to push it higher. Yes, please. So at least yesterday high might be tested. Otherwise, the stop might be tested is in the middle of the way, so it's good because then it's gonna should be the time for more consolidation a little bit lower and waiting for the Theresa May. So move below 27 should be treated as very negative. And crude is doing what it's supposed to do. So watching if we can get back and retest 63.35, 63.45 to try to take the advantage of the move to the downside. Looks like Canadian may reverse based on that. So looks like this attempt to break higher, losing the momentum, but that's what I've been trying to explain. Some stops been hit, survive for a while. So for me there are two possibilities in case of being stopped out, to try to think about renew the pound long, either the first yellow here, that the latest supply, right, which brought new low for a day, all right, or even lower possibility of over under based on the Friday close, move below that level, some kind of the consolidation, and run higher, right? So the bottom of that candle, right, that's where Riley starts. So there are two possibilities for me to eventually renew once I'm going to be stop out here. And because of exposure is so tiny here, I'm not going to have any kind of the problem to try to renew that. A little bit more from JP Morgan, thanks to Live Squawk. So JP Morgan base case is Boris Johnson as a prime minister who calls a general election, followed by new delay to Brexit to the end of the December. So more uncertainty based on this JP Morgan scenario. So let's have a look. We survived for now by 26. Where is the stop over here? 25 something. So we survived but by fractals for now. Good. It happens sometimes. Sometimes I'm stopped out by fractals. Sometimes I can survive. That's what I mentioned, that these sellers from yesterday here and here, right? Looks like they are active. And so what we have, it's a range, so it's a little bit different approach because of the range. But so first sellers as we are below the daily open, so first sellers might be already here. We'll see. So let's have a look what we have from the option market perspective. And yeah, the option expiration within next 45 minutes. So first thing first, 1160 is euro dollar right now. And what we have there? We have 1150, around 700 million, 7080 around 600 million, and 1210 750 million. 1 billion around 11. So probably this 1150 will work as a magnet. Now dollar yen, where we are, 110.50. Oh, almost no market. There's nothing to mention about. In between 113 and 107, you can believe me or no, there is no level with the amount higher than, there is no half billion. The highest is 470 million at 109.50. Oh, jeez. Poor dollar yen. Therefore, 50 USD cut, 1.2 billion. And actually that's it in regards to the option market. Okay, so let's go and check indices. Let's start with Nasdaq. Weekly. If you remember, we were discussing the possible demand here. All right. With the possibility to try to take out previous week high and hit 7,686, 7,700 based on the chart I'm using here, right? And then eventually reject. Of course, because this demand is after we create a new high, it might simply be that, yeah, you know, we will try to hit more stops below previous week low, all right? and then to try to rally from here, and again new high, right? Where the new high might be, I wouldn't be surprised to see them that way towards 8,100, 8,200, right? Why not? From the daily perspective, it looks a little bit different. That's what we discussed as well. Possible something we can call as a head and shoulders over here, with the neckline around 7,260, and with the target a little bit lower, where the latest weakness, where we create this low from here, latest weakness seen, right? So short accumulation, then lower, boom. All right, and based on this, even if we are going to make the measure, we did it a few times already with this preparation, 6,700 possible target, right? From the intraday, I'm sorry. There is also a possibility that we will try to make more difficult from here 1-to-1, and here this 7,686, 7,700 might be on the card right here, especially right now with this, when everyone is trying to call everything positive. It's okay if algo reading the market that way. All right. Huge manipulation to the upside still possible, right? From here. But first thing first, 7,510 is a weekly open, and that's what we have to take out first. Intraday, again, a little bit more complicated. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the retest of 7,500 only here, based on what we've seen here, and over here, right? So I wouldn't be surprised. To the downside, I think this bottom over here, plenty of liquidity below, I believe. So that might be the case to at least to retest 7,300. Right. And that's the yesterday first 5-minute trading range. And yeah, it was, once we move above, we hold through the whole pre-market, we hold above that one. Yesterday 5-minute range. I don't need that one anymore. Okay. Okay, bulls trying to get back into the game, bears trying to get back into the game with cable over here. trying to hold below weekly open 27.31, around that one. So we survived the first attempt to break lower. We'll see if we are maybe on 1 minute over, under and higher, but that might be challenge, and we might see 27.20 if not lower. So then I'm going to watch inside first and second yellow zone for possible long, but it might be a good idea to wait for Theresa May and eventually this time to try to make another attempt to trade pound via breakout trade. What I would like to see with Nasdaq, it might be, you know, around the US Open, positive risk on sentiment. I would like to see just maybe retest of this yesterday 5-minute range, and with the very tiny stop maybe to take the advantage of the higher levels towards 7,490, 7,510. We'll see. And that's possible supply. Bears, on the other hand, may try to trade a little bit different game with this pre-market move to try to hit the stops from the pre-market high, hit the supply, and then off. All right, cable didn't survive, but exposure was very, very low. Okay, so let's have a look. And what we have there, okay, I'm gonna to remove these lines showing 1-to-1. We know it's somewhere over here with stops above the pre-market high. All right. "30 seconds to go." game is on. So that's the cache open. So let's see. There is a problem here on a smaller time frame. Look what happened. We took out the high. We took out the high by the upper shadow only. Hit supply from the early, and Chinese yuan. So there is a supply going on, but come on, what Nasdaq is doing. Targeting these stops. But dollar yen, supply is trying to be active here on the dollar yen. Another retest. Let me go through the info. So the first level we went through like a knife through the butter, and we are testing the yesterday low. It might be some kind of the over-under, but either we are going to hit this consolidation right under the Friday low, right? I'm talking about 27.10. Let's switch lower time frame. What do we have? We have nice over-under here actually. There was a yesterday low, and there was today right around the ahead of the London Open. We repeat that and went through, and looks like it's working. I may try to trade that one. Again, starting with low exposure, adding lower with the stop below, right? That's how I see the things here. I'm not feeling comfortable ahead of the Theresa May statement, so I may wait a bit. Actually, not that wide, but above yesterday, right? That's the first thing first. So that's the positive. So let's have a look what we have. But looks like easier is going to be to try to break higher, to hit the stops, to make this 1-to-1. Can you see that? Can you see that, guys? And then off from there. Well, we'll see. And this supply is working very nicely actually on dollar yen here. Oh my god. So looks like sellers on dollar yen this time knew it's something in advance. We'll see. I think still we should take out some stops anyway. Just a friendly reminder, 20 minutes, 21 minutes to go to option expiration, 11.50 on the euro dollar, so that might be the magnet here. All right, so 15, let's switch to 15. Let's switch to 15. Let's have a look what we have on the agenda. nothing special actually, guys. European consumer confidence at 4, existing home sales from US at 4, 4:45 CET, just the reminder, we are talking about the CET time. So the data within the next 20 minutes, then 4:45 within the next 1 hour and 5 minutes, FOMC member Evans speaks. Wow, Theresa May looks like she's at 5, I'm sorry guys, for British summertime. And at 6, Rosengren, another FOMC member. So nothing extraordinary, just a friendly reminder. API private inventory at 10:30 p.m. CET today, and tomorrow official EA crude release, right? So it's time for a break, second and the last one today. So enjoy the break, coffee, tea, water, non-alcoholic drinks only. See you after the break.
It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Welcome back. Third and the last part of our today's meeting. 11:50 option expiration as a magnet for euro dollar around the top of the hour. Pound is back to weekly open, and dollar yen there is an attempt to break even higher. Now, existing home sales and Eurozone consumer confidence. Looks like we got better consumer confidence, still negative but better. And a little bit weaker existing home sales. Okay, dollar yen trying to offset that. We've got very interesting situation similar to what we've seen on pound USD on 15-minute chart. Here we do have similar situation on pound yen, but hourly chart, right? There is attempt to break higher. But would be good if we consider, since last Thursday we are around the top of the range with possible, but that was not supply. Supply was, the latest supply was here. Attempt to take it out, pull back, over under, break higher. I would like to see a little bit lower levels down towards, that's the plan we have here. Not sure if we are gonna to see that one, but maybe around the Theresa May speech, some spike to the downside, down towards 40, 45, 40, 35. Actually, that's what I like here. Between here and here. But it might be attempt to break higher through the roof, and in that case 2 to 1 would give us retest, yeah, would give us something here, so retest of something around 141.50. So from the bottom over here, that would be figure to the upside. I think I'm going to wait for that one, for pullback. No fireworks on Nasdaq. Euro trying to hold what we discussed, a little bit of the attempt to go lower below yesterday low with nice recovery. Of course, the key is weekly open and then yesterday high. That would be nice reversal right above yesterday high, 1176 possible supply. So what we've seen here for now was a nice bounce off yesterday low, hit weekly open and trying to take off again. So let's have a look what bears may look for. Wow, we can see 27, so 27 as a key here. Wouldn't be surprised. More volatility ahead of the Theresa May. And again, Theresa May within the next 55 minutes, so be careful out there. Reminder, private API data 10:30 p.m. CET today, and tomorrow 4:30 p.m. CET official EA crude inventories. We do have 2 meetings tomorrow. You are more than welcome to join me for pre-London live market coverage on Global Light Forex YouTube channel at 8 a.m. CET, and then again live market coverage at 2 p.m. CET, New York Open. Let's have a look what we have from the agenda perspective for tomorrow. During upcoming Tokyo session, there is a retail sales from New Zealand, trade balance from Japan. At 7 a.m. CET, so right at around Tokyo close, FOMC Bullard. 10:30, that's gonna be interesting. 10:30, pound CPI, where the expectations year to year are much higher and above 2% compared to the previous reading. Postponed inflation report hearing, PPI as well. And during our afternoon meeting, when we are going to cover New York, first part of the New York session, retail sales out of Canada, FOMC member Williams, and 4:30, don't forget EEA. And after our meeting tomorrow at 8 p.m, FOMC meeting minutes, and that might be quite important from the dollar perspective to compare market expectations towards the rate cut, right? Compare with what the FOMC members think about that. So that might be interesting tomorrow, the evening. We might see some volatility going on. That might be to be or not to be for dollar. Short term. And important alert. Going lower. So from the intraday perspective, let's have a look if we are gonna if we are going to hunt some stops based on the yesterday first 5-minute trading range, or is it something different and bigger that we are going to try to take out yesterday low and move towards the neckline here? Maybe. Upper shadow one more, and in the higher time frame, and things might get interesting here. Ooh. Quickly counter it. So I think the bulls may face some problems with the move below and close below 48 over here. So the lower shadows over here and the latest lower shadow, especially if we are going to close below the latest lower shadow, we are talking about 1050. So the latest price action over here on 15 minutes might be treated as some kind of the shorts accumulation. Well, that's interesting as well. So in that case, retest at least of yesterday high, if not the weekly open, would be possible. So we are talking about 1032, 1010, and at 1010 depends on the price action on the Nasdaq. As I mentioned before, I might be interested in long, some trying to jump in some longs, but we'll see. Let's wait a few more minutes and let's watch together. Just a reminder for Nasdaq, right? Still, based on what we discussed, right? Based on intraday chart over here, that's the pre-market high over here, right? So what I'm looking for, based on possible combination, based on possible 1-to-1, what I'm looking for is to take out the pre-market high and then reverse, right? It might be that what we are doing right now, we might do this tiny 1-to-1 to the downside, and we should be very close, and then trying to rally off that demand to finally arrive towards higher level. We'll see. Some statistics related latest existing home sales data. Existing home sales tumble year to year for 14th month, worst run since housing crisis. Thanks to Twitter and Zero Hedge. So let's have a look. We know where we are on the oil. Let's have a look where we are on the gold, as we didn't check for quite some time. Alright, so where we are on gold. Breakout, breakout, 1266. Looks like we are going to retest. So that's the key, 66 here. In case we are going to take it out, I think we are going to revisit 1235. For sure doesn't look good, this move back under the line. With yesterday and today price action. So what bulls may hope for is just stop hunt with reversal, but it doesn't look like it may happen. From intraday perspective, looks like we are creating something similar over here, so watch out. Sellers around 1275, 1278, and buyers of course around the low. But what I would wait for eventually, as I mentioned, for some kind of the stop count compared to the low we see to the left, with some quite quick move above retest and higher eventually. Okay. This one, Euro Aussie, looks like you may want to retest, but there is a little bit of supply as well here. It looks like we are going to close the gap, and so some shorts might be forced to cover. So looks like another figure to the upside towards 63.50 possible here. And that's intraday supply. Okay, so after the break to the downside, we are retesting the first 5 minutes bottom of the range. I would like to see more towards the cash open. Pound is trying to retest 14, but again, based on this 1-to-1 scenario here on 15 minutes, so last man standing is again around 127. I think market might be brutal here ahead of the Theresa May. We might even see the stop hand below today's low. Why not? If someone can move the market. So there are some longs already been taken, right? Some shorts were taken out. So we may invite some sellers. And then depends on the outcome. There is a 77 from the weekly chart, blue line, inside the green zone from daily. Well, and yeah, if there is really nothing new from Theresa May, pound might be punished. All right, guys, we are slowly approaching end of our meeting today. Let's watch this pound and euro action. So here was the breakdown through the Friday low. And here was the supply. So I like this bottom around 27. What I don't like is this long upper shadow on this 5 minutes candle here. And the dollar yen, again, reminder where we are. Testing the range from the 6th of May. It might be just attempt to close the gap. It might be. $11.07. 1096, 10 pips. It looks like this swing low stopped the rally. And again, with problems below the 1050, 1048. It might expose 32. Top from yesterday, top from 4 hours ago. double top up. What a comeback! Probably thanks to that oil, stocks will survive the sell-off. What a manipulation. Anyway, guys, again, 2 meetings tomorrow. I should be able to record separate crypto market view. That's what I've mentioned already a few times. So I should be able to record 1 or 2 short videos about the chart, Bitcoin chart, Ethereum chart, maybe a few more. Not sure if the Light Forex guys are going to be able to publish that today, but it's gonna be mostly based on the higher time frame, so it's gonna be more medium term or even longer term than intraday compared to what we do on FX side. So no worries, even if it's gonna be published later, there shouldn't be any problem at all, right? Theresa May at 5, and tomorrow pound CPI, tomorrow FOMC minutes. So don't be trapped, be careful. I wish you great evening or great rest of the day. That might be even better. Have a good one, guys, and see you tomorrow.